Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day. Without further ado, let's jump right into this because this is incredibly fascinating. The International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, may have accidentally delivered its biggest advertisement for Bitcoin yet, as it argues for negative interest rates. Retweeting a blog post from February this year, the financial organization reiterated its faith in central banks increasing negative interest rates, essentially taxes on using money. You heard that right. In a cashless world, there would be no lower bound on interest rates. A central bank could reduce the policy rate from, say, 2% to minus 4% to counter a severe recession. The interest rate would transmit to, so everyone should definitely be paying attention for this. The interest rate cut would transmit to bank deposits, loans, and bonds without cash depositors. That is me, you, us, I, all of us, the people who deposit their money into the bank. We are depositors. Without cash, depositors would have to pay the negative interest rates to keep their money with the bank, making consumption and investment more attractive. This would jolt lending, boost demand, and stimulate the economy. Pretty much this says anytime that a recession would happen, we would pretty much have to foot the bill because the bank would pretty much just be able to start charging us, as opposed to the 2%, they would lower it to negative so that we would have to start paying in order to cover the cost of the actual recession. How fun does that sound? This time around, the International Monetary Fund's advocacy caught the attention of the Bitcoin industry. In demonizing storing cash for free, negative interest rate advocates unwittingly increase the appeal of the very alternative to fiat, which endangers its stability. Bitcoin, as the International Monetary Fund itself has noted on many occasions, is one of those alternative. Negative interest rates won't work, as savers would bid up prices of cash substitutes such as gold, Bitcoin, vodka, and Toyotas. This was said by Adamant Capital founder and partner, Bitcoin bull Tur Demeester, when he said this in accordance to what the IMF said. Others followed suit, Riley thanking the International Monetary Fund for endorsing keeping wealth outside the fiat-based system. As Bitcoin has reported, the organization has so far failed to offer a definitive perspective on Bitcoin. In a blog post earlier this month, Managing Director Christine Lagarde, that's the woman up there you saw the photo of, called for a balanced reception of the industry, echoing previous sentiments or statements in which she refused to dismiss the phenomenon. At this point, you can't really dismiss it. You can't say it's going to go away. You can't say that you have something better, because we've noticed before that a lot of other banks who have tried to come forward and say that they did have something better, they had something that was more cooler, quicker, cleaner, and it was so and so better. A lot of banks have completely turned their backs on the idea of even issuing a central bank digital currency or anything of the sort, because they realize that it simply will not work, because what's going to end up happening. So the idea is, this is the actual blog post from them where they're talking about all that stuff. There's two sides of this coin, and it comes down to the fact that there are a couple of people in the cryptocurrency. No, not even. There are people in the traditional financial community, I'm used to saying cryptocurrency space, who believe that banks should start issuing their own currencies, their own digital currencies, because eventually we all know that the future is going to be digital. And the idea is that if everything is going digital, you should be creating something yourself to be able to keep people in line, to keep them in check, to make sure that they know that they have to continue using this currency as opposed to using Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever other coin for their daily purchases. So there are a lot of people who do desperately believe in central bank digital currencies. For those of you who do not know who Nouriel Roubini is, if you Google Nouriel Roubini and Bitcoin, you will get about a week's worth of articles and all these other things, and he's written. He hates cryptocurrencies. He thinks that they have no purpose, that they have no need. And the idea is that we need central bank digital currencies, according to him. That's not me saying that we need them, for those who didn't get that. That pretty much they are going to change the world, and that this is going to be the thing that allows us to stop recessions and to stop things like that, because we will be able to, or central banks will be able to, whenever a recession happens, because they tend to always happen, that the banks at that point will simply be able to say, as opposed to giving you 2%, they'll make it minus 4%, and therefore you will have to foot the bill for the recession as opposed to asking the government for the money. You will have to do it yourself, and this will cause things to be a lot better, to boost demand and stimulate the economy. How insane is that? On the other side of it, people know and have known for quite a long amount of time. There was a meeting that happened in, I think it was 2018. I'm pretty sure it was 2018, where people sat before Congress, and this has actually happened all around the world. There have been many discussions in 2018. This was kind of a pivotal moment for the cryptocurrency space, because a lot of people who, I dare say, run the world, people who make financial and monetary economic policies, or even who just make laws and stuff like that around the world, they were very interested in the prospects of cryptocurrencies and why we have cryptocurrencies and exactly where cryptocurrencies are going to go and why people believed in the idea of cryptocurrencies. And on the other side of that token as well, they were asking the benefits of central bank digital currencies and if banks should issue their own central bank digital currencies and exactly what this would provide. And it comes down to the fact that, and this is where it gets really interesting, two people had the same argument, but they were on different sides. And one of it was that should something negative happen, for those of you, everyone should have been here for the market crash of 2008, 2009. For those of you who don't remember, as explicitly as other people, there were a lot of people around the world who were panicking when they realized that things were going to heck and things weren't really working out as well as everyone said that they were going to. A lot of people started going to the bank to try and get as much of their money out of the banks as possible. And they were like, I need to get my money out as quickly as possible. For those, you can, I'm pretty sure you can find it on Google. It might take a while to dig through all the years of information, but people were standing online trying to get their money out of banks, and banks were pretty much telling them, hey, you can't do that. We don't actually have as much money as you all have in the bank. Banks never actually hold the entirety of the money that they say that they have. It's pretty much just numbers on the screen. So there are things called bank runs, and if you run to the bank, if everyone who was with JP Morgan Chase ran to the bank right now and said, hey, give me all of my money that I have inside there, the bank would not have enough money, because they never expect any portion that's over, I think, like 70 or 80% of people to actually go to the bank at one given time to say, I want all of my money back. And this is how banks kind of work. They run on debt and money that isn't actually there. So the idea is, with a central bank digital currency, however, everyone would have this on their phone, on their mobile, on their tablet, wherever the case might be, wherever you decide to hold your money and you are making payments and stuff like that. Should something negative happen to the economy, however, like I said, the two different sides, the argument was for the pro central bank digital currency is that if there is a recession, if something should happen, banks would be able to take care of everything in a matter of seconds. It's no longer a matter of people running to the bank and saying, hey, I need my money. I want my stuff back. You have all of my stuff. Things are tanking. Give me my money. The bank would simply be able to hit a button and freeze everyone's account. They would then be able to say, nope, nobody can move their money. We're going to work this out. Things are going to get a lot better. Give us some time. We're going to make the economy a lot better. The problem is, for those of you who were paying attention, they're able to hit a button and freeze everyone's accounts, or people who they deem to be some type of a threat. On the other side of that, for the argument, was that the guy was like, yes, that's a problem. He said people aren't going to want to be part of a system where they know, like, there's a difference between even the system that we have right now. Everything is running on a blockchain from, air quotes that they're going to call it, from these banks. There's a difference between you being able to take out money from your bank account and going to an ATM and handing someone cash for something that you're trying to buy in the store, and being able to only use something digitally that is completely controlled by your central bank or by any bank or whatever the case might actually be, especially if they end up having a system meltdown or downage, or something is not working because their computers are not decentralized and their entire server is just, one single point of failure. That's also a problem for you. I'm pretty sure you've noticed as well, if you even once again Google around. Swift has been having a lot of problems where people are sending payments back and forth, and I think I can't remember the exact number of payments that are being sent through Swift that actually end up being canceled or just kind of get lost, and nobody actually knows where they're going. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, people have no idea where these payments end up going. This happens very often. So the idea is to wrap all of this up is because we're seeing these crazy economic policies forming, the idea that negative interest rates are a good thing, that you should have to pay, not even the money that you are paying your bank every single month to have your money with them right now, but the fact that you should be paying even more should banks mess up, cause a recession, that you should be paying even more to foot the bill to be able to bring the economy back up, because that's your problem, not the people who caused it. The idea is that as more of these things come about, we are going to see central bank digital currencies once, whether we want them or not. We're going to start seeing them in multiple other countries, and when there's a recession or when there are problems and someone at that bank hits a button and that entire country is frozen and they can't do anything because the bank is trying to figure out how to get things together. This is why we have all those talks and those meetings and all the other things where people stand on stage and they talk about the future that Bitcoin is going to have. It's because of things like this. You cannot. I mean, it's completely insane to think that you can tell people that they are going to have to pay for something that is not their fault. The idea of you already having to pay the bank to hold your money, and especially when it's astronomical amounts. I can't remember. I want to say it's JP Morgan Chase, or it could be Bank of America. I actually tried looking for the actual article and I couldn't find it, and it drove me insane. I remember this had to be 4, 5, 6 years ago, somewhere around there. I want to say it's JP Morgan Chase. A couple of years ago, a bank in America, they were trying to charge people for using their money in general. And I don't mean taking it out from an ATM. I don't mean storing your money. I mean, if you went to a store and you bought something that was $14.99, a certain amount of what you had just purchased, like a small percentage, would actually go back to the bank, and that would be paying the bank again. I think this was completely shut down because apparently people found documents of them trying to do this, and everyone was like, whoa, what are you thinking, charging people to actually use their own money? So when you talk about a future of decentralization, when you talk about a future where you can make private transactions and do with your money as you so wish, and this regardless of the Lightning Network, regardless of which cryptocurrency that you're going to be using. A lot of cryptocurrencies and a lot of the ones that are going to probably make it are the ones that have the lowest fees or that have free transactions or whatever the actual case might be. We should not have to pay anyone to hold our money, or especially not. I've definitely seen people paying around like $15 a month to actually for the bank to actually have to hold their money. Is completely insane. So as we move forward with hyperinflation, as we see these countries collapsing, as we see other countries, for those of you who missed that a couple days ago, there are 3 countries. I think it's Afghanistan, Tunisia, third name, Uzbekistan, maybe? They announced that they told the International Monetary Fund that they're looking to actually issue Bitcoin bonds because they believe that it could help their economy. As we see more of this develop, as we see the prices continue to rise, or prices continue to move in whatever direction, doesn't really matter. We're going to see more adoption for cryptocurrencies. And yeah, I mean, I can't really stress all of that enough. They understand, at least this is how I see the picture before me. The International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, whatever entity you decide to single into a corner, they see where all of this is going. They see the popularity of cryptocurrencies, and they see that there's far too much money behind it. All of the major stock exchanges around the world, there's about 9 of them who are getting into the cryptocurrency space, who are releasing their own trading platforms and all this other stuff that we have from all these major institutions and all these major universities in America who are putting hundreds of millions of dollars into cryptocurrencies as well, and all these startups, whatever the case might be. Crypto is going to take over. It's a matter of when this is going to happen, as opposed to if this could ever happen. I think what I'm waiting for the most, and I think we may be a couple of years off from it, I think it'll probably happen I don't know if this is going to happen. My idea is that when Bitcoin is nearing, or when I think Bitcoin has to pass by, I think I think it's $60,000 in order to be a $1 trillion currency. I think it is, like, $1 trillion market cap. I think this is when we will hear the first rumblings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank announcing that they're going to be buying up cryptocurrencies as well, because $1 trillion market cap is just completely insane. I think by the time we get to, my opinion, around a $100,000 Bitcoin, I think this is when we will see central banks and other entities start announcing that they're actively buying it as well, to hedge their bets against other fiat currencies that are also going to continue to have inflation. Just kind of how I see things. It's kind of my own world that I live in when it comes to cryptocurrencies, but the signs are definitely there. I think that the International Monetary Fund thus far has not said anything negative about it, because I think realistically it would probably only propel the price a bit higher, as people would realize that they're probably doing it to defame it in some sort of way. Anyway, just my own ideas, but the future is very bright for cryptocurrencies. And the saddest part is, my opinion, is that a lot of people aren't buying into the cryptocurrency space, or not even buying Bitcoin, because they see that the prices are down right now. But a lot of people will start to throw their money into it once prices are higher, even though you could get it at a really good price right now. Once again, my opinion. Anyway, that is definitely going to do it for this video. I love stuff like this. It's absolutely insane. Never ever forget, the world debt clocks are ever rising, and they will probably never fall because these countries are never ever ever plan on paying their money back. That is $22 trillion just for the US. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Hope it's absolutely fantastic. Forgot to show you this one as well. There are other central banks who are realizing that this is not a good idea, because two sides of it is that exactly what I was just telling you before about them being able to actually say, like, click the button and say no, but they're also realizing that this will only push people further into the arms of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, because we're also seeing this as well in other countries as well. These really weird economic policies, and this is why we're seeing these huge spikes up on local Bitcoins and all these other places where people don't have access to normal ways of getting cryptocurrencies. People are still finding other ways because they realize that their local fiat currencies are collapsing, or that there are all these new economic policies that are not good for the people because the banks are trying to find a way to already bail themselves out before we've even had a recession. Thank you all once again for watching and listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.